The first time when I saw this, sorry, let's do that again. Don't kanchang, don't kanchang, don't kanchang, relax. Avante's new Now, in case you do not know what this car is, don't worry, because when I first laid eyes on this, I had no idea what this car was anyway. This is Hyundai's latest 7th generation Avante. It looks like nothing on the road, and you know what? It has big shoes to fill because it's going to go up against the king of kings like the Toyota Altis, Honda Civic, Kia K3, Mazda 3 sedan, even the Toledo and the Jetta, if you may. But thankfully, it looks like nothing on the road. Like I said before, comes with LED headlamps and all this triangular, modern-looking, exaggerated grille up front that you cannot mistake it for anything else on the road. Now, because it's longer, wider, and lower than its predecessor, it has got this low-slung, menacing look about this, especially when you view it from like the frontal of the car. Comes with 17-inch wheels, more triangular stuff here to exaggerate the whole design. But here's where it gets really cool. Now, by the side, you can actually see a triangle sort of design, like a diamond cut out. It just looks like nothing on the road. Seriously, while the Mazda 3 sedan has got a very simple sheet metal with no creases and no bow lines, the Avante is the other end of the spectrum, and it doesn't look bad at all. You see this bow line right here from the start, drags all the way back to the end here. It's ridiculous. I mean, who does that, man? But Avante event. Okay, so here where it really gets cool is they actually have a huge letter H to represent Hyundai. So you see this H tracks along the line and it ends here. So it's like a huge letter H. This strip that runs across the boot is actually the first in its class. So Avante obviously is the only car in its class that actually has this. Some may say it looks messy, some may say it looks very avant-garde, very new. I think it looks very special, not because of this strip and not because of the color or not because of the triangles and stuff. Here's where I really like the car the best. The font of the Avante. So the A is just an inverted V. So you get A-V-A-N-T-E, Avante written across the butt of the car. It looks very current, very avant-garde, very modern. It's just very special, and I really, really like that. So I made a mistake of thinking that the button to open the boot is somewhere here, but it's not. It's again very nicely hidden, but yet open, and it's just right here, the button. Just press it, and it opens. This obviously passes the anti-trolley's length test with a lot of space to play. Check-in luggage this here is merely 474 litres worth of hauling capacity, more than the Altis, more than the Civic. I think it's the best in its class, actually. The Hyundai Avante is priced from $90,999 to $104,999. The 1.6-litre petrol engine produces 121 brake horsepower and 154 Newton-meters of torque. The CVT gearbox brings the car from 0 to 100 in 10.4 seconds. For more details on the Hyundai Avante or any other car, head on to sgCarMart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. Okay. Well, first things first, this has been adjusted to John's sitting position, and despite that, I know I'm the shortest host in the industry, but I have ample knee room, leg room. I can even slouch, so I suspect someone who's as tall as Idris or John will not have a problem sitting here. I can sit slightly reclined. It's not like straight up like this, so this is very comfortable. Headroom is very acceptable, even for someone who's way taller than me. I think it wouldn't be a problem. It has to do with the fact that the engineers actually, they were quite smart, right? They actually created an indentation here. So if you can actually look at the roof line, it actually goes up here on the inside, so you actually have a lot more space in terms of headroom. Seats wise, as I was saying, recline. What's really special is that you can actually have heated seats. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that because I want to. Ventilated seats would have been ideal, but hey man, I mean, not a lot of cars come with this, so Kudos to Hyundai for that. Alright, center seat right here. It's also just as comfortable. Yeah, I mean, it's slightly stiffer, but it's still comfortable nevertheless. More importantly, because the transmission tunnel is not completely down low, it's a bit of a height, but I can still put my leg on top, and I'm wearing boots, so see that? I can still do this. I don't have to put my leg down like this, which will compromise the space for these two guys beside me. So 2 other Singaporean adults will still be able to squeeze beside me, no problem. Comes with ISOFIX points right here. And what else? Let me see. We don't really have a lot of cubby holes, just one here, one by the door there, and we have 2 cup holders here. One here, I think you could probably squeeze your phone in here, like this if you want. Yeah, there you go. A couple of things to note though. This car does not come with, the rear seats at least, a USB port or 12 volt charging port. It doesn't come with any of that. However, it does thankfully come with aircon vents. Every car should actually have this in Singapore. Another thing to note, right? I'm not into the whole beige or grey interior, which this car is. I'm more into the whole black cabin, sort of just want to be safe. However, for some reason, this car, it feels very acceptable. I'm not too sure if it's because the exterior is the purplish blue, which sort of matches with this, makes the cabin feel a bit airier, or it's because of this color that you see here. You see this grey fabric upholstery? It feels very good to the touch. This color, this grey beigey color, goes perfectly well with this color, and it sort of lifts the entire ambience of the car. You know, this just reminds me a little bit of like a very trendy, modern, Korean style kind of feel. Comfortable, cozy, very homely feel, I must say, very homely. Other than that, yeah, well done, man. Alright. Wow, alright. So Avantes, in the press release, right, Hyundai actually said that the Avante, this here is supposed to make the driver feel like you're cocooned in a pilot, the cockpit of a plane or something like this. I don't really feel that way actually, because I imagine the cockpit to be a lot more claustrophobic. This is a lot more spacious. It sort of feels like I'm in a business class seat in one of the airlines or something. You know, it's huge, my own personal space. It feels very nice. But you know what? Enough about that. First things first, let's get the elephant out of the way. Now, cars in this class, very common, you'll have a lot of this. Hard plastics. You hear that? It's very common. But here's where the Avante separates itself from like the Altis and the Civic and so forth. Now this right here, it's rubber. I think it's rubber. Yeah, it's not leather, it's rubber. It looks like there's leather finishing on it because of some rugged surfaces and stuff. The rest of all these plastics, including this, follows the same finishing, so it doesn't look like it's out of place. Plus, some advantages to it. Number one, it's easy to clean. Number two, it feels and looks like it'll last you good 15-20 years. These plastics, of course, if you take care of them. Now, this steering right here looks and feels good. I don't really know what this is for, to be honest. It reminds me of Audi RS's steering wheel actually, where this actually mimics the huge air intakes on the Audi cars, Audi RS models. This car has something like this as well, but I don't really know what it's for. Design-wise, it looks perfectly fine, not complaining, looks different, feels good. But I think it's beyond that where it starts getting completely different. This is a 10.25-inch instrument panel where all the drive information you need is here. Right beside it is an 8-inch infotainment system, touchscreen, very responsive. I'm paired up, works very well. Here's the cool thing. It also comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless, which means this is the only car in its class that offers this feature. Very cool, very responsive. Below it is where all the buttons you need, you know, the aircon, where you have to meddle with it every day, the aircon, the speed, temperature, and of course, my personal favorite, ventilated seats. Just below it, you get 2 USB ports, one for charging your phone and one for assumingly for your music and whatnot. You also have wireless charger right here. which I can just put in. It's quite huge actually, it can fit my phone because it's quite big. Then you have the drive mode button. When you depress it, you get 4 different drive modes, right? Normal, Eco, Sport, and Smart. Selecting each will just toggle, you know, change the instrument panel and design. So, but someone actually complained to me, right? They were actually saying she doesn't really like this because it makes her feel very claustrophobic, you know, and she doesn't know what this is for, so and so forth. And I said, it's not really a big problem, you know, I mean, so I went over and tried, and then I realized that, yeah, it could be a bit of a problem, but it's really something small. My wife was just complaining. It's my wife, by the way. The only thing I realized it being a problem for the driver is this. If I so happen to drop something here, this will actually hinder me from picking up stuff. But that doesn't really happen. I mean, let's be honest, it doesn't happen very often. I'm just saying. It looks nice, everything feels good. One way to find out, right? If this car can actually drive as good as it looks. So the Hyundai Avante, well, it's not without faults. I love how it looks, I love the cabin. Can it drive as well as it looks? Well, I don't know, right? I want to start with the faults first. I don't really like the safety systems, but one safety system is good, is that it informs you that the car in front is moving off, especially when you're at the lights and you're busy on the phone. To avoid people at the back honking at you, the car actually alerts you when the leading car in front of you moves off. So we're going to try and see whether it actually chimes. Let's check it out. There you have it. It actually states leading vehicle is driving on. So this is one of the safety systems that I really think that you can use on a daily basis. This is the sort of thing that needs to come in like every car. This is just one of the many examples of safety systems that you need to use on a daily basis. What you don't need to use on a daily basis is this. Yeah, the beeping sound. Now, I'm going to start off with what I don't like with the Avante first. The beeping sound is something that I don't like. Actually, in all honesty, the beeping sound is actually the only thing I don't like in the 7th generation Hyundai Avante. It sort of gives me panic attacks. Can you imagine if you are a buyer, the first time buyer, and this is your first car, like ever, and every time you want to change lanes, so you're not really experienced on the road, right? And every time you want to change lanes, it just gives you this loud beeping, urgent sound, urgent beeping. You sure panic, sure panic, because I panicked on several occasions. This is the 4th day, my 4th day with the car. And every time I want to change lane, I know that there's enough space, like now, I know that there's enough space, but it just keeps on beeping, and every time it beeps, I sort of like, oh man, do I actually have enough space? Like, I second guess myself. I'm starting to doubt myself. I've been on the road for over a decade now, but I don't know. I suppose safety is the basic necessity in cars in this segment. It's not wrong to have it, but personally, I don't like it. And well, fortunately, it's the only thing that I don't like about the car. There are a lot of things to like about the Hyundai Avante right here. First and foremost, this car, it's a proper sedan, proper posh, premium sedan. Now, I will take 2 examples. There are a lot of other examples, of course. There's a K3, Mazda 3, but even the Jetta, the Toledo, some may even argue, but I will actually just pick the Civic and the Corolla Altis because these two are like the king of this segment, right? From my point of view, this car is very comfort biased, and it well should be, because buyers who are out looking for this sort of car has only comfort in mind. You're not going to buy this car going like, oh, I'm going to go crazy with this and drive like a maniac. I don't think so, because I'll just want to haul my family from point to point in a very safe manner, and for that, this car not only does it in a safe manner, as I've already demonstrated, it will also transport your passengers in a very comfortable manner. Now, I think if I can remember correctly, the Altis is probably more comfortable than this. But because of that, it's a bit more boatier, a bit more slack on the suspension. This is slightly stiffer, however, it doesn't feel as stiff as the Honda Civic. So the Civic sort of feels like it's sportier. This feels right smack in the middle, and I really can appreciate this. People should really try and understand that the Avante is the sort of car that was never on people's minds. In a sense where, if I want to buy a car in this segment, the first choice would probably be the Civic or the Altis. And then people will just tell themselves, you know what, I think this car is too expensive, let's just go for the K3 or the Avante. Then they select the cars. But now, with this car, it should well be the first choice. I mean, it feels like almost Hyundai created this Avante just to give critics a tight slap across the face. To tell them, you're not, shut the hell up, we are capable of doing something like this. And then they just blow everybody's minds with this car. I mean, I hate to say it, man, but I never liked the Avante because I always thought it drove horribly, looks terrible. I'll be ashamed to be seen in one. But with this car, I feel proud. It looks good, drives well, it even smells good. The best of all, I think, what makes this car so premium is the cabin insulation. It's very quiet on the move. You hear a bit of the road noise, but it's kept well at bay. You know, wind noise doesn't intrude even when you're at 90 kilometers per hour. Again, we have to understand that this isn't a sports car. When you pedal to the metal, the car sounds more strained and stirring, but then again, that's like saying every car in this segment is the same. But where it actually differentiates itself is that because the cabin insulation is so good, the straining sound is very muffled. So you can actually feel like it's a premium car. It sort of sounds like a premium car even. This car comes equipped with a 1.6 litre engine. It pumps out some 122 brake horsepower and 154 Newton meters of torque. Now, these figures alone will be absolute rubbish. But it somehow fit this car very well. I think because the car is about some 45 to 50 kg lighter than its predecessor, so that's quite a bit of weight off from its predecessor. So it's a lot lighter. Because of its lightweight, these figures just somehow work. And what's up with these Korean brands, man? They are really making me want to... They're really making people like me change perceptions. I mean, for the past several test cars that I've been driving, which are Korean brands, just blew me off with all their technology and their specs and their drive and their looks. So, big question, right? Will buy, won't buy, go try the all-new Hyundai Avante. My answer, will buy. Yes, I will buy this car. I mean, I never thought I'll say it. I never thought I'll be impressed with a Hyundai Avante of all cars. If you're telling me like i30N or like, you know, something, I'll be like, yeah, we gotta buy this car, but it's the Avante. I will buy this car. I will buy this car for the very simple reason that it looks good, it drives well, it handles its own very well, it holds its own very well. And you know how like I said, right? The cars, new cars are always better than its predecessor. And it should be, it ought to be, because, you know, evolution, right? You can't be coming up with a product of the same model product, but it's worse than the predecessor. That's just not right. The Avante isn't just better than its predecessors, it's better than the other cars in its segment. I'm talking about better than the Altis in terms of looks, in terms of quality, in terms of user friendliness. It's better than the Civic in terms, again, looks, in terms of quality, even drivetrain. It's just something that it can not only fight in its segment, it can probably stand out in a segment above it. So yes, it's definitely a will buy. So there you have it, guys. This is the review of the Hyundai Avante Elite. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I've driven the car. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please also feel free to share this video with your friends and families. And don't forget to comment in the comment box below and tell us whether or not you will buy won't buy or go try the Hyundai Avante. Yes, thank you very much for watching. In the meantime, stay safe, be well, ciao.